Hi, friends. Welcome back to Live at the Roxy for this Saturday, March 13th, episode 363. That means we are officially 2 episodes away. We are 2 episodes away from 365. And it's starting to feel so real and so crazy. And I have a lot to talk about today. I have a lot to talk about in the next 3 days. And what I am going to continue to remind you guys and myself is that just because we're not going to be here every single day does not mean we're not going to be here all the time, does not mean that we don't still have this connection. I'll talk a little bit more about that later on, but there's still a lot to cover in the next 3 days. So, whoa, baby. And we'll be getting to a lot of that today. Also, more importantly than any of that, today is the 1-year anniversary of the murder of Breonna Taylor. Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mangley arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all 3 of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Not for the shots that missed. We're going to talk about that more on the show today, but we've moved where we talk about that around a little bit. And I think it's only fitting today that we mention at the top, in the middle, and at the end of the show. And I feel like even though I always talk about how Glenn Caesar is the mascot of the show, it also feels like Breonna Taylor kind of is a part of the show. And I hope that we have helped her legacy to live on because she deserves to still be here. More than deserves. So we'll be talking about that. Also, Chris Harrison, we know, was stepping back from The Bachelor. Even though a lot of you guys don't watch The Bachelor, still interesting to discuss the fact that they are replacing him, at least for this next season, with 2 previous Bachelor contestants, Tayshia Adams and Caitlin Bristow. I think those are their names. I watched Tayshia's season. I don't know this Caitlin person really, but I think that was her name. And so they will be taking over. So we will see what that looks like, and we'll talk a little bit about that here on the show as well today. And then also, yesterday, we said J.Lo and A-Rod broke up. I guess they're still together. We can break that down a little bit. We don't usually talk about that kind of thing on the show, but it's tea, for everybody who's wondering. What are you talking about? Is that steam from tea or pot smoke? Oh, Rob, fair question. Totally a fair question. I thought you meant, I thought when I quickly read it, I thought you said, is that steam from tea or a pot of tea? And I was like, I'm not holding the whole pot here. It being pot smoke is very legitimate. Although I typically don't smoke in the daytimes, especially if I know I have to leave my house, because you guys know I'm not good at smoking and driving. I'm going to go to the Streamlabs. I'm going to go to the Super Chat. And I'm going to spend some time with you guys today because I love you guys. And this has been a long year. More Mothhan says, won't be able to make the last show live, so cheers to new beginnings. Thank you. Well, you can watch it after the fact, but appreciate you being here all the time. I understand that a lot of people can't make a Monday afternoon show. People have work and stuff. I totally get it. But for those of you guys who can be here, I'm not exactly positive. At first, I wanted for 365, I wanted to book a ton of guests on the show, kind of like we did for 300 or 200 and have everybody come on. But then I decided I really didn't want to do that. And I just wanted to be with you guys, because as much as there's Live at the Stexy, and then there's Jexy, and then there's all the amazing times that Lauren's come on or Winston's come on. I think Winston probably is our 3rd most appeared guest. Lauren maybe. Oh, Natalia, probably 4th. Lauren. I mean, there's so many people who have made this show what it is. But at the end of the day, it's Live at the Roxy, and I'm Roxy, and you guys are the ones who are with me live. So I just decided I didn't want to have a bunch of guests on. Something I am doing, though, is I have reached out to a lot of the top guests that have been on, some of the people I just named, plus a few more, to see what their biggest takeaway of the year is and the biggest lesson they've learned. At the heart and soul of the show, as much as it is an entertainment show and a political show and a pro-cannabis show and all those things, it's really about growing and learning. That's what this show is. And that's why we have Roxy's Advice Corner, but also bring on all different kinds of guests and try to take these entertainment news stories and break them down more from the perspective of people and humans and how we feel and what we believe. So yeah, I reached out and I'm getting a couple of just sentences from people about what their biggest takeaway during this time is. And I figured that would be a great way to incorporate those people into the show, but still just letting that last 365th day be just between me and you guys, if that makes any sense. So that's part of the plan for 365. Other than that, I think we'll just kind of hang out, celebrate, chat, think about what we've learned and how we've grown and what we want to take into this next phase and all of that. But that is not today. That is in 2 days. Let's go into the Streamlabs to see some of the things that we will be talking about today, which is dictated by you guys half the time because you're as big of a part of the show as I am. All right, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let's see what's going on in here. Like I said, it is the 13th, which means that last night after the show, we got a couple of things that came through. All right, let's see. Morse Code Z said, so sad I couldn't watch live Friday. I was on the road and getting my first Moderna shot during the stream. That's amazing, Morse Code. Have to congratulate you on that amazing performance on SEN. The week-long build-up and the ladies' reactions made it priceless. Also, Jet Weekly. It's a big possibility moving forward. I kind of need to step back and reassess, but I am prepared and ready for all of your suggestions, and that's how we're going to figure out what we do on the show is based on what you guys want. Aqua Coach last night, 11 p.m. on a Friday night, get it poppin', said, thanks for today's show. I could watch you and your brother every day. Lots of tough things were covered today, but you still had fun and made me laugh. I'm so glad, Aqua Coach. Thank you so much for that big support. I really appreciate you, and thanks for watching. Glenn Caesar, our Zen Glenn, our mascot, the man that made me hysterically cry last night. And then I kind of do this thing when I cry. You guys, I don't know if you guys have seen me cry often, but when I do, I smile so big when I cry. Even when I'm like devastated, I'm a smiler crier. It's so fucking weird. So I was laughing so hard. It's like, I don't know whether I'm laughing or crying. I'm definitely there are tears, but I'm laughing. What is this sensation? Glenn says, hello and good afternoon, Roxy, and all your nicknames. Thanks for hanging out with us. QE Quarantine Edition number 363. Much love to you, Grammy and Papa. Peace, bunnies, hugs, and good stuff to you and yours. Thanks, RJ, RSB, and WFs for being cool and letting me get to know you better. I know Roxy is the one reading these, but hopefully all the rock stars and world friends who always ride for the leader of the rock stars say it too, and not super fast, but with intent and feeling. Roxy's the best. Roxy number one. Yeah. Happy Roxy days. Good thoughts and good vibes to you, Chunk, on garnering all your much-deserved success. Good luck with all hosting, filming auditions, and or booking other projects coming up. What's for you is yours. You're earning it all because you are fucking fire. Please remember, you're kind, you're smart, you're unique, and being so unselfishly loving and supportive of others, including strangers on the internet or not, makes you worthy. As such, your story is important and deserves to be seen and heard. You are appreciated. Positive thoughts to you, RJ, and all the rock stars and world friends who show up to give their support whenever, however they can. Don't forget, when it gets tough, even if you're by yourselves, you're not alone. Everyone who's battling, keep on fighting. You're a winner. Let's go, Smets, and everyone fighting for today, tomorrow, and more. Smash cancer all day, every day. Be most excellent. RJ and Rockstar, show up for people who need it. That makes you cool to know, humane, and worthy. Cheers to Fuck Yeah News for 2021 and beyond. Miles Cosgrove, Brett Hankison, Jonathan Mattingly, arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor, all three of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Hope today is the day. Justice for all the people who have lost their lives due to excessive force. Hashtag say their names. Glenn, I am going to, for the days that I'm not here, boy, am I going to miss these the Glenn spiels. I really will. And that's just, yeah, I'm definitely going to miss the Glenn spiels. Speaking of Glenn says, my sentiments exactly. Breonna absolutely is the mascot of the show, although I'd be very glad if she wasn't. I know, me too. Thanks for saying that, Roxy. Yeah. Is that a crack in my voice? I don't know. Yeah. And thank you to Jake Yacovetta for reminding everybody, don't forget to vote for Winston's mom and putting the link in here. We discussed this on the show the last couple of days. Make sure you are voting. It takes legit 2 seconds. I've done it every day from multiple emails. I know you guys can too. Thank you so much for the reminder, Jake. Continue to remind us. I appreciate you. Getting those Streamlabs, getting those super chats. I did want to talk about last night, Rob Fishbeck on his YouTube channel, and it's awesome what he's doing over there. I'm really, really impressed by him. But Rob had on Glenn and Brandy and Jake, and they were talking all about Live with Roxy and your girl Roxy. That's me. And it was a really, really beautiful episode in tribute to this show. And they talked about some of their favorite moments and best guests and different lessons and takeaways from it. And, you know, they expressed the sentiment that this is going to be really, that this has been their consistency in their life. And a lot of you guys, by the way, the rock stars, a lot of you guys were in there watching, which was so cool to see. And I know that I've been a lot of your consistency, and you guys have been my consistency, because no matter what's going on in my day, I know for 5 minutes to 2 hours, however long the show is going to be, at some point I check in with y'all. And that's been a really beautiful thing for me also. So I want to thank you guys for being my consistency too. I mean, there are a lot of you guys who have made every single show, if not close to every show. And by a show of bunnies, by the way, send bunnies if you think you made 300 or more of the shows. Of the 365 shows that will be, send bunnies if you think you made 300 or more of those shows. If you watched, doesn't have to be live, watched or listened to 300 or more of those shows. But if that's the case, then we were here, and you guys were there for me, and I was here for you, and I'm going to continue to do that. I'm not going anywhere. This is not going to be one of those things where I say I'm not going anywhere and then I take multiple weeks off and then you don't know what the plan is. I'm going to just take a couple days, reassess what this looks like moving forward with you guys in communication for the patrons and the Discord and all the places that we do communicate, and figure out what this looks like. I'm still going to be here. We're still going to be checking in, and I know it's going to be different. I know it's not going to be every single day, and I know that makes it different. But it is going to, like hopefully I do and all of you guys have, grow. Because this will give us the ability to have more guests from different walks of life. This will give us the ability to talk about things that really matter to us and prep for them a little bit more and do a little more research on them. And this, I think, is really important for you guys too, because it's time to take the lessons that you've learned and apply them. And sometimes you need a little space and time to do that as well. So for those of you guys who are casual listeners or watchers of the show and they're like, the fuck is this girl talking about right now? I'm going to be totally fine without her going every day. I get it. And maybe you pop into me once a week, and I'm grateful for you guys too. Maybe you pop into me once a month. Maybe you only pop in when there's a guest you like. Maybe you only pop in when it's a topic you like. And you guys are so appreciated too. But for those of you guys who are sending bunnies, and I'm just going to call some of you guys out for a second: Mohammed Belsin, Joseph Ashley, John G., Bruce Banner, Jake Yacovetta, Lloyd Nance, Leonard Kim, the good Leonard, Rob Fishbeck, Stefan Zubel, Mason Allen, Juan Mendez, Murderanta, DK, Matt Munoz, Glenn Caesar, Chris Martinez, Star Gonzalez, Garth McMurray, Manny Gonzalez, Legoland, Bunny, maybe. I think so, Legoland. Jeremy Miller, Drew Walk, 54. Glenn Caesar says all 365 for sure. John Bainbridge says, I'm not sure when I started watching, over 100 days, but not over 200, I think. Totally still a lot. Brittany Parker, Acer, 5,000. John Get Bent says around 280 for me. Nano, 2233. Curtis says, I think I saw at least 100 episodes. Prince that wasn't promised. Evan Hooker says, I came in later than some of the OGs, but I've tried to catch them every day since I started. Big Mo Podcast says, I wish I watched all those episodes, but I was there in spirit. I know. It's a big part of all of our lives, and it's going to continue to be, and it's going to be even greater and even better. And I know that, but it's going to be different, and I understand that the change, for those of you guys who are here consistently, the change is going to be weird. It's going to be weird. So just know that I acknowledge that. And for whatever kind of pain comes with that, or any kind of growth or feelings of frustration or confusion or whatever, I'm still going to be here, and we're still going to talk about it all. And those feelings might have to wait a day or two till the next show, but it's still going to be me and you guys. So I just wanted to make sure you guys knew that, because you guys have said some really, really kind things about me. And a lot of you guys have expressed the sentiment that you don't know if you would have been able to get through this time without me. And number one, I think you would have. And number two, I feel that way as well. But I also acknowledge that the biggest surprise and the best part of the entire show is not me finding you or you finding me, but you guys finding each other. And what has happened in this community is you guys have gotten to know each other. If you're one of those people whose names I just named, you knew all those other names I just named. You knew them all. Ryan Payne, I was jumping back and forth with the show, but it came a staple around May. Helsing 7747, I watched the show pretty much every day. Jeremy Miller, I lost track of how many episodes I watched. If you watch the show all the time, if you're in here right now, it's just super likely Danny Ramirez, Hitman Hudson, Lemmy Kilmister. It's just super likely that you know every name I just said, because you guys know each other now. And that's fucking awesome, because I'm just one person and you guys are all each other's rocks now. And you guys do these Zoom chats or are on text threads or getting to know each other or feel just supported by the other people being in here and being a collective. Pink Sweet says, I think 200 something. I don't really know. LL, shout out to people who did all 365 though, for sure. For sure. So I'm glad that you guys have each other for the moments that you don't have me. And I'm so lucky that you guys are such a beautiful, strong, incredible, open community of people with there are people here from all different countries, men, women, non-binary people, all different ages. We have Avery, who's 12, all the way to people we've had people in here say they're in their 70s. I'm not laughing because that's old. I'm laughing because, thinking about being in the same chat room, we have people here who are every color of the rainbow. And I mean that on all rainbows, on the LGBTQIA rainbow, in the rainbow of life. And that's fucking awesome. And I'm so proud of that and so grateful for that. So thank you guys all for being here. I guess that's just what I was trying to say. I'm a little long-winded sometimes. So that. All right, get in those Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer, get in the super chats, and we will talk about those things that we're planning on talking about today in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Very fitting. My very first super chatter ever, Lloyd Nance in the house. Lloyd Nance says, hi, Roxy. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to all of you guys. What are we doing tonight? We going to the club? How many times can she make that joke? I would say if there are 52 weeks in a year, so there are 52 Saturdays in a year, plus the Fridays that I make that joke on, I've probably made that joke at least 80 times on this show. Going to the club. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's talk about our girl, Breonna Taylor. We talk about her every day. I'm really proud of that. I hope that somewhere in the universe, somehow, she knows how not forgotten she is, how loved she is, and what her importance is for all of us. Today is 1 year since her murder, and we have not been able to get her the justice that she deserves. There's nothing we could ever do to get her the justice she deserves, because the only justice that she deserves is to still be here and to not be murdered in her sleep. So we can only do what we can do. But what we can do is keep her in our mind and our hearts in any decisions that we make in life. We can continue to fight for Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mattingly to get arrested for murdering her. And honestly, we named those 3, but there was a slew of police officers there that night that frankly all deserve to, at the very least, lose their jobs. And the ones directly involved in her murder need to be arrested. And we're going to continue to talk about that because we need to hold people accountable. And even if in police officers' souls they're not good, I'm not talking about all police officers, I'm saying if some police officers in their souls are not good, we still need them to know that there are repercussions and that there are consequences to their actions, because that's something that every level understands. So even if they're not going to do it for the right reason, we need to show them that if you murder a Black woman in her sleep, you're going to get arrested. Because I don't know that we can convince them not to have hatred in their hearts. But I do know that we can show them, if you do this, then that happens. And that's not enough, but it is a step. It's a step towards saving innocent Black people's lives and innocent lives in general. So we need to continue to fight that fight. And she's not the only one. She's so far from being the only one. But she is this beautiful face of a movement that will not let her name be forgotten. And that's why Say Her Name is so poignant. But also the names that we really need to remember as I continue to talk about it are Brett, Miles, and Jonathan, because they are out there at Starbucks and eating Oreos and going to the park and living their lives. And that's not fair. That's not fair, because that's not how our justice system is supposed to work. Because we live in America. Or not all of you guys, but this happened in America. And that's not how it's supposed to fucking work. So on this 1 year, Brittany Parker says we need to show them that hatred has consequences. Exactly. Because that's step 1 to teaching them right from wrong and what happens when you do X, Y, and Z. It feels real every day, but on this 1 year, you just think about, and also I'm coming up on my 30th birthday, and you think about the fact that she never made it there. She never made it to 28 or 29 or 30. She never made it to those years. And every day on this earth is a gift. We know that. And you just don't know what's going to happen. So there's a lot of lessons to be learned from Breonna Taylor. None of those lessons are, as so many people have tried to prove, be careful who you date because they might be what the fuck ever that is. Those are not the lessons. The lessons are that we don't know what can happen to us. The lessons are that sometimes things take a long time, and that's not reason to stop fighting. There's a lot of lessons, and thank you to Breonna Taylor for teaching us those, and I'm so sorry that you had to. We love you, and we're going to continue to fight for justice for you and all of the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. Oh, God. All right, streamlabs.com/Roxy Striar. Let me know your questions, comments, concerns, thoughts on Breonna Taylor, anything else that we're talking about on the show today. Speaking of which, Morse Code Z in the Streamlabs says, was at work late, so caught some of Rob's stream before I left. Had me tearing up too. Also, his tributes are fantastic. Also added 2 more emails today. So up to 4 bids for Winston's mom now. That's awesome, Morse Code. Also listening from behind, so bunnies. Morse Code Z with over 300 episodes this year. I love that from you. Thanks. Yes, sometimes I try to catch up on shows too. I listen 2 times speed. I'm behind. I want to type things, but I'm like, I know the chat's not where I am right now. But you still want to get it out. So I totally understand. Let's talk a little bit about The Bachelor. I know. It's all of your favorite topics here live at the Roxy. You guys come to Live at the Roxy all 365 days just to hear my thoughts on The Bachelor because you're such massive Bachelor superfans, right? Let's watch those live viewers go down. This isn't about The Bachelor. This isn't about drama that happens on the show or who kissed who or who went home or any of that. It's not about that. This is about the Chris Harrison situation and what ended up happening there and what's going to continue ending up happening. So for those of you guys who haven't been listening to me or haven't been paying attention, we know that Chris Harrison at least temporarily lost his job after he went and had a conversation with Rachel Lindsay. I believe it was on Extra. And Rachel Lindsay, who was the first Black Bachelorette, came to the conversation and was like talking to Chris Harrison about the stuff that had happened with Rachel, not Lindsay, Rachel, some other last name, non-Black Rachel, who was on the show and is a front runner. We still don't know, by the way. We still don't know if that Rachel is going to end up with The Bachelor. So that's what makes these conversations strange as well. But that Rachel had gone to the fuck kind of party was it? She'd pulled some in her past at 18 in college, some racist shit where she went to some kind of, I always forget this word, you guys know. What's the name of the party? Or not the name of the party, but the theme of the party that was so stupid. You guys will tell me and then I'll be like, oh yeah, shit. Sorry, I always forget what kind of thing it is. And she came out and she apologized for being ignorant, but said that her ignorance was not racism. An antebellum party. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you. And then when Chris was talking to Rachel Lindsay, he stood up for the other Rachel hardcore and was just like, listen, we haven't even heard her speak, and was just making a lot of excuses for her. As he was making excuses for her, the internet kind of lost their shit and was just like, why is this white dude making all these excuses for this woman, especially with everything that we've learned this year and everything that's gone down? What the fuck? And so he did not lose his job. He seemingly temporarily lost his job. We knew he wasn't going to be there for after the final rose, which is the last episode after the final rose is given. And now we found out after his apology, a lot of people didn't accept his apology. A lot of people thought his apology was pretty weak. And we've now found out that for this upcoming season of The Bachelorette, which is supposed to air later this year, that is going to be co-hosted. They're not even calling it that, though, which is the strange thing. It's like they don't even want to give that title. But it's going to be co-hosted by Tayshia Adams, who was just the most recent Bachelorette, and Caitlin Bristow. I don't know who that one is, but I know she was a Bachelorette at some point because I hear shit. I didn't watch that season, but I think that was probably in my arsenal at some point in time. I think if I remember correctly, she was like this quirky, kind of strange Bachelorette who everybody was rooting for. And then I have no idea what ended up happening. I don't know if she's married or what or whatever. But the two of them are coming at this together. I'm so happy right now to look in the chat and see, as I told you guys, everybody comes flocking for the Bachelor talk. It's everybody's favorite time of the show. We know that people come from far and wide to hear me talk about the Bachelor. You guys are big, big fans, and I am super knowledgeable. And Ken Knapsack must have heard, like, his ears started tingling because he heard Roxy Strier's talking about the Bachelor. I must come see what she's talking about. Is that how it happened, Ken? You know, it's kind of like what do they say when somebody's talking about you, your ears start ringing? It's like that, but with the Bachelor for all of you guys. So anyway, they announced that the two of them were going to be taking over. And I think that it's really interesting how they've done this. It's like 1 foot in the door, 1 foot out the door. The Disney and ABC has not said jack shit about what's happened. They don't want to say that Chris Harrison's never going to host The Bachelor again, because Chris Harrison brings so many eyes and ears to the show. People love Chris Harrison, the fans, I mean. And obviously it's a little different now, but they in general are like obsessed with Chris Harrison, and Chris Harrison goes to all the fans' house, and Chris Harrison makes his rounds. And so it seems like ABC is unwilling to say Chris Harrison will no longer be the host of The Bachelor anymore. And instead they're like, let's read the room. We know we got to get him out now. We want to get him back in as soon as we can. So what we're going to do is, for after the final rose, we're going to bring in one host. And then for the next season, we're going to bring in two people who neither of them are hosts. They just were bachelorettes. So maybe they can guide it. But then we'll see how people are feeling after that. And then, like, maybe we'll bring Chris back, but not if we're not ready yet. We still got some learning to do. And are we ready yet? Are we there yet? It seems like that's what they're doing. And I'm not even saying that that's a bad game plan. I'm just saying it's funny because we haven't really seen that yet. We have seen people lose their fucking jobs. We've seen people get fired. Or we've seen people not lose their jobs and people be pissed that they didn't lose their jobs. But it's not like they said, Gina Carano is not going to be in The Mandalorian this season. They said, Gina Carano's out. It's just kind of how things have worked. So it's just kind of wild to watch The Bachelor and Disney and ABC be like, so what Chris did was bad, but it wasn't as bad as what some people have done. So we're just going to kind of have him fade in the background, push it back in. Fade in the background. When you guys forget what happened, fade him back in. It's an interesting strategy. It might work. It might really piss people off. We just don't know. Ken saying lots of love from the chat. Keep it real, guys. Super chat some love to Roxy. Ken, you're the fucking best. I love when you pop in. Ken not confirming nor denying, though, that his ears were ringing due to Bachelor talk. I still kind of feel like I put out this beacon. Bachelor talk! And then some of you guys heard it and were like, that's my jam. Bachelor talk. It is strange to watch this season now, though, I will say, watching this girl Rachel on the show, because her and Matt James, the current Bachelor, are clearly the most in love. It seems like that. It seems like he is going to pick her. And what that will mean moving forward is going to be really, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to talk about it, considering Matt James is black. Rachel is not. And if he picked her and was not aware of this stuff, are they going to come out and is this going to be an after the final rose, or are they going to have to do some kind of a special, or is this going to affect their relationship? Is he still even going to want to be with her? I don't know. Pink Sweet says, I'm confused, laugh my ass off. What is there to love about Chris Harrison? Doesn't he just say, here's the rose? What else does he do? Pink Sweets, I haven't been watching forever, but I did watch early on, and then I just restarted watching like a year ago. So what I will say is that Chris is very good at his job in terms of moving the show along, listening to what the people have to say. He kind of gives them a little bit of advice. He's got a sweet way about him. And in the past, he has been very vocal about things that matter and like anti-bullying and whatnot. So this seems like, I'm not going to say an isolated incident because I don't know him. And it seems from what Rachel Lindsay said, she has other issues. But this was the first time we publicly saw anything. So I think people, Pink Sweets, are just kind of thrown off. Like, wait, he seemed so nice and so with it. But that happens sometimes. Bruce Banner says it feels like they're trying to make his appearances a continuous Homer gif. I don't know what they're trying to do. I really don't know what the fuck they're trying to do. So, ABC, we need Roxy to host The Bachelor. I don't think I would be a great, Demo, you're amazing. I don't know that I would do a great job. I feel like it would be a lot of me being like, wait, so you feel what? Wait, but he just fucked somebody else. I just want to make sure you know that as you're feeling so in love. Because you know he just fucked somebody else. You're feeling okay, though. We're good? I'm just checking in. And Chris is like a very kinder way about him. Pink Sweet says, oh, okay, I've only seen one episode, so LOL. Yeah, I haven't seen all of them either. But in general, he just has a nice tone to him usually. What he did on Rachel Lindsay's show shows that there's a completely different side to him that he doesn't typically let America see. And I was like, ooh, he is cutting her off and not listening and clearly doesn't get this. So where's this Chris been? But then again, there were years and years I didn't watch, so maybe people saw him then too. I don't know. Also, growth and change are good, and sometimes it's just time to change. And Chris Harrison's had that job for a very long time. I'm not saying that he should be ousted forever, but, you know, he's pretty set. Maybe it is time for somebody else to have the job. I do not know. Streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer right here in the super chat as well. In the Streamlabs, let's see what's going on. Ryan Payne says, feel there has to be a stricter training regimen for police officers. They need to understand the ethical and moral implications of their actions and on patrol, and to be trained to separate their personal feelings and biases. It's not much, but it's a start. Absolutely, Ryan. I think it's a very important step. Very important. Leonard Kim in the Streamlab says, happy Saturday, Dimple Tits. I, for one, thoroughly enjoy your Bachelor coverage and would argue that you should spend more time on the topic. Whoa, Leonard Kim, I think you're alone on that one. That's just me, though. Unrelated. Did you receive a Falcon Winter Soldier screener? The hair looks pretty. Did people receive those? If they did, I should check. I forgot to ask for one, so they would have had to just kind of know that I wanted one. By the way, the Disney digital screener fucking thing is so intense. They make us type in our emails, so I'm doing that right now. And then they make us type in a password. And then they send you a verification code to your phone number. And within I think it's 60 seconds or 30 seconds or some shit, you have to type it in. They're not fucking around. And then I'm verifying. All right, let's see. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Did I get that screener tossed? Not my best rhyme. And you got to accept the rules. I'm accepting Disney. Doing all of the accepting. Recently added, let's see. One assembled the making of WandaVision I got. Oh my God, I didn't get it? That's brutal. I'll have to ask. I must check in and ask them. I'm just not cool enough sometimes. I did reach out about the Snyder Cut. I'm supposed to be getting that one very soon. So they said this weekend. We shall see. And then we might be doing a DC movie news thing. Bruce Banner says stool sample. Yeah, and then they make us give a stool sample for Disney Plus. It's wild. Spread that around. Tweet that out. Disney made me give them a stool sample to get their screeners. I was kind of surprised, but, they only made us do that once. So that was a one night only. And I guess I passed. My stools look phenomenal. Paul3JP in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer says, Bam, how's your Saturday going? Popping in to say what's up. Cheers to your next endeavor. Thanks, Apollo. We appreciate you as out there as you are sometimes. Leonard Kim in the stream live says the disrespect. The disrespect of what, Leonard Kim? What'd I do? What did I miss? Oh, shit. I never want to disrespect Leonard Kim. Tell me when you know. All righty then, moving on, because the Bachelor attack has come to an end and it's just not going to be happening. Not in my house, not anymore. J.Lo and A-Rod are still together. Why is that news? Well, because during the show yesterday, we announced that they were not together. And that is my brother said something I really didn't appreciate. You guys heard me give him shit about it. I don't even, for any reason, when people break up, as somebody who has been through a breakup that literally tore my heart out and made me feel like I would never be okay again, think about feeling like that when you're truly in love with somebody. You would do anything for them. If they told you to jump off a building and didn't tell you why, you would fucking do it anyway because you would know that there was a reason, right? Like when you are in love. When you are going through a breakup, you don't think that the sun will ever shine again. Food does not taste okay. You're not showering normally. You're not a whole person. And this is me speaking from my experience and from my friends who have gone through breakups with people that they were truly, truly in love with. So when we watch celebrities go through breakups, I don't know how they felt about each other. I can't pretend I know how J.Lo and A-Rod feel. But for me to add to that level of pain and for any reason, I just don't fucking like that. For me to speculate, for me to pretend I know why or for what reason, I don't know. And when you're already feeling like your life is fucked, for little fucks like me on the internet to be like, it must be because blah, 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 blah. Like, go fuck yourself. You have no fucking idea what it's for. A lot of the articles came out saying that it had nothing to do with the cheating speculations, not saying that those were not real, but just saying it didn't have anything to do with those. And that they are going to try to stay together. Sounds like they're going through a really hard time. And so this was what they said to USA Today. All the reports are inaccurate. We are working through some things. That was the couple in a joint statement. And then there was somebody who in the joint statement saying we're working through some things. And then there was somebody else, a source close to the pair, that said they never officially broke up and talked about it, but are still together. They hit a rough patch, but were not broken up. So that sounds like what's going on now. They said that she isn't J.Lo's working the Dominican Republic, and he's in Miami. So it's tough seeing each other, especially with quarantining and COVID, but they want to try to stay together. Either they will or they won't. I'm not sure what will happen here, but I just know in life, like with your friends and with your family and with celebrities and with strangers, when somebody's going through a breakup, try not to be an ass. Just try not to be an ass. And I'm not saying that we were being an ass by saying that they broke up, but just like come at the situation with love. I think a lot of times, like in our lives, when our friends break up and we didn't think that it was the right relationship, we'll be like, oh, I'm so happy about that. Just why did you feel the need to say that? Be supportive of your friends who are going through breakups. Listen to what it is they want and need, and do your best to just try to shut the fuck up unless you're saying something helpful. So when it comes to J.Lo and A-Rod, here's what I'll say. I hope they figure it out one way or the other. I hope they find happiness in each other or not. I hope that it's not too hard of a struggle and that they're on the same page. If they're in an open relationship, if they're not in an open relationship, just that they're on the same page and treating each other with respect and dignity and loyalty and appreciation. And so that is what I will say about this couple. Again, you guys all heard that I was talking about J.Lo and A-Rod, and you came flocking on through. The beacon went out. Going back into the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer. Let's see. Ryan Payne says, the more you talk about the things you're obsessed about, like The Bachelor, you might get people to watch. You're clearly passionate about. I may not become a dedicated follower of the show, but you influence me to watch an episode or season at least. Damn, Ryan. Garth Harkness McMurray says, I just wanted to plug a show I'm a part of tonight with Christina V of The Stars. Oh, cool. We're huge Chris Evans fans, and we'll be ranking his top 12 movie roles tonight with 4 other people on Rank 'Em. It's live on YouTube at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time on the Take 3 channel. Thanks, Garth, for plugging that. I'm excited. That sounds great, and I love Christina. She is so awesome. I am curious from you guys. One of the things I was thinking about doing in the next iteration of the show is I would like to have all of the stars come on the show. I would like to try to do either one a week for a couple of months or, just try to get them all in, because I know a lot of you guys don't know Felix at all. A lot of you guys don't know Christina at all. A lot of you guys don't know Jacoby at all or Zach at all. For the most part, you know Ann Draco and Snyder and Damon. They've all been on the show. But there's people that you just don't know as well. So I think it would be fun to kind of bring them on and see what they're all about, and not just talk schmodown stuff, but just kind of get to know each of them. And if they're interested in coming on, Brandon Hanna, a lot of you guys know, but still there's a lot to him. If they're interested in coming on, then I would love to have them here. So that's just one of the things to possibly look forward to if you guys were interested in that. Embers in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Roxy Stryer says, Biden tweeted about Breonna, but didn't call out her killers. I liked Bernie's tweet more. Breonna's mother wrote a letter to Joe. I hope he does something. None of it makes sense. The boyfriend shoots first, so you shot 30 times. You had to hear a girl scream, bastards. Embers, I mean, I could go on about this. I've done episodes and episodes on this, but yes, the fact that he shot first because they did not announce themselves and broke into their home, and so he didn't even know that they were police officers. The fact that this was not even supposed to happen the night that it happened. The fact that he was not doing what they claimed that he was doing. I mean, all of the fucking things. Leonard Kim in the Streamlabs says, no, Roxy, I meant the disrespect from Disney. If anything, they should know you're the first person who should have received a screener. Oh, I've been hearing good things, and I would love your valued thoughts and opinions. So you do know Leonard Kim. You're also a king. Why is it that that's the second time I've had to do something with your name? You do know Leonard Kim people who have screened this? I actually haven't really heard anybody who has. So maybe I should look into it a wee bit more. We are going to be getting out of here really soon, which means that we have 2 shows left for this iteration of Live at the Roxy Quarantine Edition. Tomorrow will be 364 and then 365. And that is some crazy ass shit. That is some crazy ass shit. It's whoa. So get in any of your final comments as I am getting out of here. I haven't done shout outs for a little while. So shout out to all of you guys for joining me live today and every day that you are here. Bruce Banner, Brittany Parker, Joseph Ashley, Rob Fishbeck, John Bainbridge. Name here. Interesting. Jake Yacovetta, Jeremy Miller, Dimo Katabe, Garth McMurray, Ryan Payne, Jake Yacovetta, Brittany Parker, Manny Gonzalez, John Bainbridge. Am I repeating myself? Lauren. Black Lives Matter. Damn right they fucking do. John Get Bent, Susie Easton. I hope that I'm hitting a lot of you guys. Lauren, almost a year so crazy. I know. John G, Chris Martinez, Morse Code Z, Moormouth Hans. Do you see my last Streamlabs, says Glenn Caesar. Let's check it out. What's it all about? Glenn says, yes, I do see it. Glenn says, I know it's totally not the point of today's show, Roxy, but I just got to say, especially because seeing Rob's latest highlight video, The Best of Jexy, it was so good to see that clip of you singing That's just my baby dog. That's just my baby dog. Why was it good to see that? I sing it all the time. Jet makes so much fun of me. There's something about that. That's just my baby dog. That's just my baby dog. I just really like it. Also in the Streamlabs, Big Mo Sabra says, hey, Rox, I hope you're doing great. You're amazing for creating such a safe space for all of us. The Rockstars World Friends group chat has been a safe haven for me. By the way, the Big Mo podcast episode 7 will be tonight, 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Check it out if you can. Thanks, Big Mo Sabra. That is awesome. I'm supposed to go see my cousin after this, hopefully. She is leaving LA for a bit, and I want to make sure that I see her before she goes. And yes, maybe going to do an outdoor cocktail. Wouldn't that be lovely? We'll see, though. You just never know in quarantine. It's like no plans are real plans. They just are. Everything feels so. Susie Easton, Susie Raid. Susie, my OG. Fucking love you. Susie and I have been together for mad long time. Also in the Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/RoxyStryer, April Rain. April Rain says, hi, Roxy. Would you ever do a closet tour? I love those kinds of videos. If you think that's creepy, then it's cool. No worries. How's your script going? And have you decorated your spare room yet? I'm just really into house decor kind of stuff. April Rain, once I finish doing it, then absolutely. My closet's not a walk-in closet though, so it's one of those closets that slides, so I don't know if it would be as fun, but definitely I can give you guys a little bit of a tour. But I have no couch, I have no chairs, I have not done the second room, all that stuff. So when I do, you guys will be the first to know. But I appreciate you asking, and I don't think that's creepy. I think it's so cool. No plans are real plans. So true, Brittany. I know. And that's coming from me, who I'm very consistent, always show up. But during this time, it's like plans are all fucking fake. Just nothing's real. Nothing's real. Rob says, oh, closet designs. I mean, 100% love decorating. Really, Rob? Learn something new about you every day. Pete says the best part of the pandemic is plenty of marijuana. I feel you on that, Pete. Do what you love and love what you feel and all of that great stuff. As we get out of here, I will be back with you guys tomorrow live with Roxy. And then we will be doing an episode of The World Girls at night. But until then, Brett Hankinson, Miles Cosgrove, Jonathan Mattingly arrest the cops who killed Breonna Taylor. All 3 of them for killing Breonna Taylor. Justice for all the people who lost their lives due to excessive force. Wouldn't today be an amazing day to fucking do just that? And I would love to think that the people in leadership agree. We'll keep saying it, though, and we'll keep talking about it. Make your beds. Put down that toilet seat and lid because the flumes, the flume plumes, we know the deal. Don't trend with the Holocaust. It's not legit. Check your internet and blow on it. We know it works every time. It's foolproof. All of those things. Jake says, I just realized we spent the last hour watching Roxy's hair air dry. It so has not air dried. It's still so wet. My hair stays wet forever. Forever, ever. Love you all, and I'll see you tomorrow live at the Roxy.